Good morning. Oh no. Oh no. What happened? Oh no, what happened? What did I fix? I can fix. What's... There we go. It accidentally minimized the window. Okay, we're good. We're good. Everything's fine. Oh, good morning, hello, good afternoon if you're coming from the Europe lands or maybe other lands that aren't over there where it's morning. Happy time zone. Yeah, I was peeking through the door. I was coming in. I was walking in. I was just getting settled. It's all good. This is what happens when you accidentally start streaming before you check if your model is okay. I'm having a day. I'm here. I'm here. I'm not in a lot of pain. Yeah, you get an ad. I don't know if I set that up right. It is not intuitive, and I was tired when I tried. So I'm sorry if the ads suck, and if I did it dumb. I did try to make it so you wouldn't get pre-rolls, but I don't know how to do that. So sorry if you got a whole bunch of pre-rolls. I am confused. My eyes start to. Sorry. Yeah, I made it to affiliate. Now let's hope I can stay affiliated, and I'm gonna make all the sense. Woo. You're back from the ad. Was it a pre-roll ad or did it just like go after you got here for a while? Because I don't. I did not set up any things for bits, but thank you, Glitch, for the 1 bit. To be perfectly honest, when it comes to Twitchedom, I don't really understand what bits do. I assume they give me money? It's 1 cent a bit? Yeah, no, I haven't looked into this at all. I know, like, I watch streamers. I pay attention to that kind of stuff, but I've never had money to use on Twitch, so I just I have Prime, so I get a Prime thing. My 1 bit is 1 cent. Okay. I was here and then I left for a bit and then I clicked back, saw you for a sec, and then went to an ad. Okay. I don't know. I don't know if I set it up right, but we can look at that later some other time when I can pick your brain about it to make sure I didn't do it dumb. See it in my analytics. Ooh. Boy, do I love those analytics that come to my email every time. It's like it comes, not only comes to my email, but like I get a push notification for it. And I'm like, oh, cool. Now I get to know how badly I did. That's great. I'm pull up the stream manager on my phone, by the way. Oh no, I'm not plugged in. I'm not. Whoa. What is going? I don't know. Wow, I have so many bits. That's Awesome. I don't. I'm 10 cents. I've never made 10 cents before in my whole life. I say as if I've never had a job. I've never made 10 cents in France. I've never had a job in France. Yay! I've made French money because I did have to set it up in France, and I did have to, because I'm an American citizen, also have to like do all of the tax stuff for the US, but also tax stuff for the France because I have a fiscal number here too. And I'm like, I if I ever made enough to be taxed, I would be double taxed both in France and in the US. Ah, wee. Being a United States citizen is so fun. This happens to a lot of other places too, though, so it's not just the US. Water. Alright, how has your guys' morning been? I know it's still early. Jinx worked last night, though, so at least Jinx has been up for a while. Let's see, what did I do this morning? Well, I woke up, dogs being dogs. They were all crazy, and my stomach was still really upset from last night. I didn't go to sleep after I left last night. Watching Jinx's stream. I couldn't. It wasn't like I didn't want to. I just couldn't. And I didn't get to sleep until like 4, and then the dogs woke us up at like 8 something. I didn't get out of bed until like 9 something though. Yeah, look at you. You took a little badge there. That's cute. I was somewhere that wasn't home with loud machines, and then I go home. Yay. Sometimes I like loud machines, but I don't think I would like the loud machines that you work with. They seem really loud. Do you get like ear protection, like earplugs or something ever? Or you get like one of those earplugs that you can still kind of hear through? You got double the views on your Slay the Princess vid. Oh, I didn't even look. That's kind of cool. I don't know. I For some reason I thought that gaming would be easier because like it's not that I don't want to sit here and be like, oh, streaming is so hard, because it's not. It's just it's really fun, but it does take a lot out of you. It's a lot of like being on for a really long time. It reminds me of teaching a lot. So it's but I was like, oh, streaming, doing a game will probably be easier than doing the music, because I have to do like all that analytical stuff, and I have to like break apart, what the song is doing, and add reactions because I'm reacting. And I felt like I did a pretty good job of doing that in the music stream. And then like in the book streams, we're also doing a lot of like analyzing of text, and I'm telling you like what happened in the story, and I'm like using my brain a lot. And I thought stupidly that playing a game would be a little bit more chill, because I just play the game and I just look at what's going on. Oh no, you have to refresh. Okay. But yeah, I thought that playing a game would be more relaxing, and then I wouldn't be as tired afterwards. No. Of course the first game I pick is Slay the Princess, which is a brain usy type of game. Especially like with me, because I want to analyze storylines and things like that, and like I want to like figure out what is actually going on there, and I keep on like having these Existential crises. No, is it me or is it you? Am I freezing for other people? You want to stream a solo game? Of any type of game, or are you thinking like a Slay the Princess too? Mm. Cause like I'm still trying to figure out what games to do. Slay the Princess really like works with the type of content that I'm doing because I am like doing a lot of analyzing of music and in books and stuff like that and stories. So like doing a really like story heavy point and click adventure type of game makes a ton of sense. Oh, Hades would be good. Yeah, you should. You should. I haven't actually watched anyone play Hades before. I like kind of know. I mean, I've seen it. I've never played it either. I bet it. I probably could. I can't stream it, but I could play it. Yeah, Hollow Knight might be good. No, I don't want to play Hollow Knight. Let me hear me say something about Hollow Knight. I don't want to play Hollow Knight. I would hate it. Undertale would be fun too, but I fucking hate bullet hells, and I know what happens at the end of that game. I hate a bullet hell so much. Like, it's fun to watch, but I don't want to play a bullet hell. Do I look like somebody who could play a bullet hell? I can't even see them coming at me. Pixels? Everything looks like pixels to me, at least on the right side. So, like, what am I gonna do? A bullet's gonna come at me from the right side, and I'm gonna be like, what the fuck? I thought that was just a... It would be funny. Yeah, it would be funny to watch me just die over and over again. Is there an easy mode? I need a cheat code. No, I don't gotta lock in. I need a cheat code and we'll just skip it. It's an ABBABBA start. Some other me I don't remember. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. You know what I mean. Okay, what is going on today? Not much. So I was gonna do like actual French stuff today, but hey, I had a bad night. I still don't feel very good. It's not going well in my body currently. Woo! So we're not gonna do French because I am sort of a masochist, but not that much of one. I guess if we have time, we can like go play some Duolingo. But I came up with another idea. And instead, I want to take a look at some new releases that are coming out in the next couple of months. So like September, rest of September and October, and it's probably into the rest of the year, so that we can see if we can find some spooky new books that are coming out just in time for our spooky season. We'll also take a look. Sorry, taking meds. By the way, if you haven't taken your meds, take your meds. Take a look. I don't know. Sorry. Something happened. It seems fine though. Seems like we're good. But yeah, we're gonna take a look at some new releases, and then we might look at my to be read pile, my TBR, which is it's just in there because I worked on it a little bit and tried to like update some things, and then I also like begged my library to pick up a couple of things that they don't have. So we'll take a look at that. I had it could be fun. Oh, breakfast stuff, yum. Okay, so let's go ahead and go over to... No. I set it up before! God damn it. Okay. Hold on. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Nothing bad happened. It's fine. We're great. We're gonna make me small. We're gonna fix it. I set it up before so I would look like a real professional streamer. A real one who gets paid to do this now. Ugh, what happened? Did I fall off already? And then it really fucked it up. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. Who would pay me? Not Jeff Bezos, that's for sure. He'd be like, kid, get out of here. What are you doing? And I'd be like, I don't know, man. I'd do my best, though. Okay, is this pretty good? Does it look okay? Are we good? I think we're good. Yeah, I think we're good. No, we're not good. I lied completely and totally. What the hell? It's like not even showing the top. Okay, come down here. At least it's just family. At least it's just family here. It's not like somebody new who might be thinking about following me is here. You know, it's just us. It's just us. It's fine. This is fine. This is fine. Not embarrassing at all. This isn't embarrassing. Why would I be embarrassed by this? This is just normal. Okay. No real streamers have things go wrong every stream. You're not a real streamer unless it breaks all the time. Okay, well then, real streamer right here. That's me. It, cause it broke. I fucking hell. I got it set up too. I was all ready to go. Alright. Alright, whatever. Okay, so. Hello? Wait, hold on. Trying to make my eye adjust so I can see your name. I'm so sorry. This is what happens when I put my thing off to the side. I'm gonna look on my phone real quick. I set it down and it's not on the right page. Oh my gosh, now it's broken again. Hello, new person. Hello, Leando game? Ooh. You're from Portugal. Well, welcome. I am from France, technically, which is good, I think. Maybe. Do France and Portugal have some bad blood?
It's France.
Oh, it's France. So yes, probably. But I'm also American. I just moved here. I don't claim them. I don't know what they did. They did wrong things. But yes, spooky season is upon us. Happy Halloween, everyone. I was having a hard time convincing my husband that Halloween actually starts on September 1st and ends on October 31st. You can't throw that because the dog will eat it. The sponge is up there. I'll let it fall on the ground and he can just eat it. I have the sponge. You can't throw things at me. No, you can't. Okay, anyway. I'm trying to convince him. Oh, that's okay. I'm very bad at Portuguese. I tried to learn a couple of words once. I don't remember any of them. How do you say hello in Portuguese? I think that was what I learned. Now I don't remember. Is it just hello? No, that would be dumb. It's probably like a variation of other. Oh, okay. Well, I think a lot of my things are broken on here. So that's fun. Because I just got an email that says that you're following me. So thank you for the follow. It didn't show up on here. Or it will maybe sometime. I don't know what's going on. Is my streamer bot connected? Holy crap. I'm having the worst. Oh, no. No, we're up. We're up. We're connected. We're all good. Okay. Actually, let's since I looked, let's go ahead and take a look at my streak. This is my reading streak. I've been reading every day since August 2022. So we're now at 1,133 days. Yes, I like to pat my own back. You could give me a head pat if you would like. We need to make that a thing for channel rewards. You could pat my head so that I could feel so good and superior for reading for a ridiculous amount of days. Well, yeah, I wanted to take a look at some of the new releases that are coming out in the next couple of months. And to do that, I used a couple of different things. I thought I would go over that. So the first and probably like most like used thing that I think people do when they're trying to look for new releases is they use Goodreads or Dreads, since I cut off the one half of the screen. That's okay. That's okay. Thank you for joining us. Have a good day. We're gonna keep going. So yeah, Goodreads. Sometimes they'll come out with things like this: preview of fall 2025's new sci-fi, fantasy, and horror books, which is speculative fiction, which is what I read. So we have a couple of things that are coming out that you can take a look at through. They have the fantasy books. This is the popular horror writer as well, who also does a lot of dark fairy tales. So this is kind of more of the dark fairy tale, but it would probably have some horror stuff in it. So just like a note, this is out now and I am waiting for it to be available. It's on my holds list at the library. Oh, this looks interesting. Sorry, I did take a look at this before. But we have a villain origin story, reimagining of the most iconic monsters in Greek mythology. So, looks like it's a Medusa retelling, which would be kind of fun. Okay, so like, they're going for some like horror adjacent things, but I wouldn't call any of these horror. They definitely are in the fantasy place. Let me see, do they? Well, but then they have a Joe Hill here. I've never read a Joe Hill. Has anybody taken a stab with the, I guess, Prince of Horror? I don't know. I'm sure that would be not something that we would like to hear. I know that there was been some good stuff. Yeah, I was gonna say I know that there was Lock and Key, and that was kind of interesting. Yeah, I haven't actually like taken a stab at a novel though. I read a little bit of Lock and Key, not a lot. And I watched the show, the season. I don't know if they ever did a second season, which is sad if they didn't, because the show was good. Let's see. Yeah, a lot of these are kind of good, but it's a maybe a little bit. So like you can get some of these. We're gonna have sci-fi. Let's see if we go all the way. That feels like horror. Yeah, here we go. So all the way at the bottom is our fall horror sections. I don't know that one. Is that really how they spelled it? Okay. But yeah, we have a couple of things that are coming out by a bunch of different horror writers. Let's see if there's anything that's kind of coming, speaking to me here just by looking at covers. I'm trying to. There's a couple things, and I'm just trying to see if there's anything different. Okay, than what I was planning on talking about. Not really. So we have, yeah, the vampire book, but is there a new vampire? I have to look. Are you making a joke or? No, you're not. You're not making a joke. Really? Okay. That's a Joe Hill one. Okay, that just it's a little ridiculous, but it probably makes sense. I've never heard of this. So it's a Nosferatu, and it is spelled dumb. Apparently looks like a license plate sort of reference. Um, and there is a drama uh series that has the name. I don't know these things, guys. I don't watch TV, and they don't have that out here yet. Yeah, that's interesting. It's a little bit older though. Looks like. So there's a Rachel Harrison coming out. Rachel Harrison has done a lot of interesting stuff in horror recently, I would say. I haven't read a ton of Rachel Harrison, but I know that she's really well liked. I've read Black Sheep. I did that earlier this year, and I did really like it a lot. I actually recorded a whole review of it and did fucking nothing with that review. So this one I think is out now. Let's take a look at it real quick. Ooh, you gonna load? I'm loading. Okay. It says it's not published yet. So maybe, I guess it maybe tomorrow? What? Okay. I don't know, something's happening. A woman must confront her demons of her past when she attempts to fix up her childhood home in the devilishly clever take on a haunted house novel by USA Today's best-selling author. Oh, and this is kind of long. Julia Barnes leads a picture-perfect life as a stylist and influencer, but beneath the glossy veneer, she harbors a not-so-glamorous secret. She grew up in a haunted house. Well, not haunted, possessed. After Cleo's parents' messy divorce, her mother, Alex, moved Cleo and her sisters to a house occupied by a demon. Or so Alex claimed. That's not what Cleo's sisters remember or what the courts determined when they stripped Alex of custody after she went off the deep end, but Alex was insistent. She even wrote a book about her experiences in the house. After Alex's sudden death, and the supposedly possessed house passes to Cleo and her sisters. Where her sisters see childhood trauma, Cleo sees an opportunity for house flipping content. Only as the house makeover process begins, Cleo discovers that there might be some truth to her mother's claims. As memories resurface and Cleo's family reads her mother's book, the presence in the house becomes more real and more sinister, revealing ugly truths that threaten to shake Cleo's beautiful life to the very foundation. Okay. I kind of like the concept of a house flipping. Oh boy. I like the concept of there being the house flipping content. Um, that's kind of funny. It has some pretty good ratings already because of advanced reader copies that had probably gone out. Let's see about reviews. Review breakdown looks pretty good. Uh That's the thing, is ARC readers, they tend to write really long-winded reviews, and that's like what they want. But oh my god, I just want like a really easy review to read. And I I wish that they would stop making us write these crazy reviews when it's just like, okay, like on your content, go ahead and write a longer review. But on the like review website, write something kind of succinct. But they like want like a synopsis of the book. And I'm like, why do you need, there's already a synopsis of the book. We just read a synopsis of the book. Why do we need a whole another one? Um this guy's just kind of gushing about it. Something that's kind of cool there that's a little bit spoilery, which they should have marked. Yeah, I'm not okay. So these reviews kind of suck. Not a fan. Let's take a look at Storygraph. We'll go ahead and see if there's anything else in there. Rachel Harrison one. Okay. We'll go. I think that this personalized who's it for? So many ads. For readers drawn to psychological horror about inherited trauma and terror and not trusting your own memories, where family homes become mirrors of buried pain, ideal if you crave emotionally raw, moderately paced stories with domestic dread. Ambiguous supernatural elements, and the creeping realization that the real haunting might be the past you've worked to forget. The thing that just breathed sounded like a ghost thing from Phasmophobia, and that honestly, I might have trauma now. It went and I went fuck. Okay, okay. All right. Uh, Pretty good, pretty cool. Submitted by users as part of their reviews. Oh, those are content warnings. Summary, but you don't have the actual reviews. They probably won't put the reviews until. Oh, no, maybe I have to go up here. Yeah. Okay. Let's take a look at reviews and see if they're different here. Here we go. More succinct things. Very interesting take on a haunted house. Having trouble to connect with Cleo, they're saying here. Which in Black Sheep, I had a hard time connecting with the main character there. I can't remember her name. It's been a while. But it took me maybe halfway through the book, and then I was like, oh no, I actually do kind of like her. But like, I don't think. I feel like these are books that are written for maybe someone who is just a smidge younger than me. Not by a lot, but like they're not like young adult books, and they're not like that in between coming of age thing. But like, I think that they are not for, there's somebody who's like 25 instead of 30. You know what I mean? So, and I also think that Harrison does a really good job of writing flawed, complicated characters who maybe you don't love everything about. Well, there's that. It seems like it's pretty good. Self-teen English, creepy, good bit of heebie-jeebies. There we go. Oh, so we have breakfast now. That's great. I hope everybody's having a nice breakfast. I didn't eat breakfast. Well, no, I had tea. I had like a glass of tea or a cup of tea with a little bit of not sugar sweetener was day, and then after that I had a cup of hot water with some lime juice in it. Cause I was just trying to make my tummy feel better, man. Bitingly funny and at times terrifying. It's a pretty good one. This book is crazy. It's a book about literal demons and also the ones inside of you. It's a book about grief and messy families and haunted houses, like every other Rachel Harrison ghost book. It's a witty and features an A++ protagonist. It's gory but funny, and I really liked it. Okay, it's out on Tuesday, so yeah, it's out tomorrow, guys. So maybe we maybe we want to read this. I think I want to read this. I'm gonna put this in the to be read pile, and see if my library picks it up. And if they don't, then I'll probably forget about it. But I'm sure they will. Rachel Harrison's really, yeah. The cover also is really good. I know that there's a lot that people say about these types of covers because yeah, it's the lighthearted thing, but like these types of covers are really popular in the romance genre, and they're like book talk romance books. They tend to be like that kind of cover, but I like them. I don't know. I think they're kind of cool. Okay, so we did one. We got one. Hooray, go us. Maybe we'll try a different technique, cuz I wanted to show you a different way. So, we'll keep that, but we're going to open up. So the way that a lot of people find new releases is through Goodreads. And you do that by going through the browse categories, and there's new releases here, and you can go there. Now, the problem that I have with this way of doing new releases is that they have very specific genres here, and it's hard to get to maybe if you have a specific genre you're looking for. So they have fiction, historical fiction, mystery and thriller, romance, fantasy, science fiction, memoir, autobiography, nonfiction, young adult, history, and biography. Is there something here that you're noticing that might be missing? Yeah, they don't have a horror section. And I don't know why. They have it as a genre in other places, and it's not like it's not a popular genre. Why is it not here? Stupid. And then they also have, like, I think that if you look up new release horror? No. There might be a way, I don't know how to do it, but I found it once, and it was just like I don't know how I got there. I really don't. But if you read a lot of horror and you put them on your red shelf, you can go by my authors. And that's going to show you anything that's coming up that's new from authors that you've already read from. So we can see here, I don't want to talk about the fact that I read this book. I didn't read this book, but I read one of their other books. I don't want to talk about that. But, like, okay, yeah, so here, we have Play Nice, because I read Black Sheep earlier this year. So it's showing me, hey, Rachel Harrison has another book coming out. Um, I don't want to talk about how I read Dan Brown either, so we'll go away from that. Uh, oh boy, a lot of these are not good. Oh, Sarah Gailey. Sarah Gailey did a really interesting haunted house. Oh, really good. And they have one that's coming out on September 23rd. Spread Me, which, yeesh, we'll take a look at that one. And then T. Kingfisher again has one that's coming out later on this one that is a continuation of the Sworn Soldier series, which is a series of novella length books following a fictional soldier who is non-binary, and it's it's really good. I really like it. So I'm excited about that one. I can't wait for that to come out. I don't want to talk about Jenna Shellwater either, even though I read all of the one from that one series. That was a guilty pleasure type of read. Ryan Sala. I'm trying to remember. I don't remember who this is. Take a look. Author. Oh, The Honeys. Yes. Okay, that was so good. Um so we have Stephen King meets Holly Jackson way of we by way of We Were Liars, in this action-packed story of queer horror from the acclaimed author of The Honeys. The Honeys was another queer horror which had maybe one of the best depictions of teen gender fluidity that I think, I don't know, it was just so good. The way that it was described in the book was he was describing his gender fluid, her there. I don't remember what they went by. I think that they went by male pronouns in the camp because they had to, because um they were assigned male at birth. So, but I don't remember what their actual pronouns were, and this was a really long time ago. So I'm gonna go by what they asked people to call them at the camp. So we'll go with masculine pronouns for that one. But he was talking to another kid at the camp. And he was describing his gender, how the gender works, and it's like, okay, so there's a big lake, and there's a lake at the camp, so this is why it was really good. But there's this really big lake, and there's two different shores. And one shore you have like girlhood, and on the other shore you have boyhood. And I am a canoe paddling along in that lake, and sometimes I go a little bit more over to the girlhood shore, and I might, put a toe over there, then I'll just like go back, and then sometimes my canoe goes over to the boyhood shore, and I might like hang out over there a little bit, but I never actually go to any of the shores. And I was just like, oh, that's so good. That's so amazing. And so like everything else that happened in that book didn't matter to me because I was like, I'm in love with this. And their name was Mars too, which was really good. And the family was more or less like really supportive of everything. And I don't know, it was very good. And yes, there were rich kids, and it was a teen one. And I tried to stay away from young adult a little bit more now, but I still like to I like to go back every once in a while, back to the old stomping grounds. And I think that this author, Ryan Lasala, is just a really good one for teen horror, teen queer horror, without it being too dysphoric. Because I find that when you get into a lot of queer horror, all it is dysphoria. Is that dysphoria is the monster. Whee! And like that's sometimes really good, and I think it's really poignant and fun. But God, sometimes it's like, yeah, we get it. We know. We're aware. We're in this box with you. We hate it. It sucks. Homophobia and transphobia and dysphoria is the monster. Thank you for that poignant take. So I feel like this is kind of nice where it does, like, it is sort of that sometimes. And ultimately in the Honeys, if you were to like break it apart, the monster is like misogyny. Weirdly, but no, because I don't. Well, kinda. I don't know. It was really good though. I wanted to look at the author themselves and see what other stuff they have. Because I wanted to see. Yeah, that was it. I read Reverie too. Also, really fun, like fantasy adventure that had horror elements to it. Um, if you want to take a look at some interesting horror and horror adjacent fantasy heavy queer young adult stuff, I would recommend this guy. He's fun. Let's see what he's got coming out. The Dead of Summer, which makes sense to come out on the 16th of September. That is when summer is about to die. 2 days before, Ollie Viltman is finally coming home to a quaint island of Anchor Mercy. Oh my god. Nope, I'm not gonna sneeze. Sorry. The quaint island of Anchor's Mercy after a year away while his mom battled cancer. It should be a celebration. His mom is cancer free. She's determined to have the best summer ever, but Ollie's now ex best friends think he abandoned them, and he's returning with a lot of questions because for a place that's perfect on the outside, a secret rots inside. A secret that could explain his mom's illness and the illness of so many other locals. Interesting. Ollie's desperate search for the truth turns life or death when a storm descends upon the island. In its wake, a long sunken horror rises. Oh my god. Does anybody... Would you... So it's just Flint, Michigan? Yes. Yeah. I think that Cthulhu is actually just what's in the pipes in Flint, Michigan. 3 weeks after Ollie is being held in isolation aboard a military hospital ship in the harbor, they say he's a survivor. They only know half the story. The truth is more dangerous than Ollie ever believed, and he suspects his saviors aren't here to save anyone. Only Ollie can stop what comes next, but only if that means getting back to Anchor's Mercy before it vanishes below the waves, taking with it everyone he has ever loved. Holy shit. He sleeps in the Superior, yeah. The lake that never gives up her dead. Yeah, I love a shifting timeline, honestly. So that might be fun. We're gonna look at it on Storygraph because that's actually where I do stuff. It's the Dead of Summer. Where? Oh, this is actually. Oh, that's another thing. Okay. Goodreads has a bunch of bitchy ass people on it. Anytime you try to look up a rating of a horror book on Goodreads, it is always super low, and it's stupid because dumb people read it, or people who don't like horror rate books You know, and I just get so mad because like a horror book that is really good and poignant and like made so many good points about the world and like you could dissect it in like 30 different ways gets like a rating of like a 3.2, and then fucking Love Hypothesis gets like a almost 5.0 rating, which is a terrible book, objectively terrible book. Yeah, if you like Love Hypothesis, I think I judge you. I judge you hard. You need something. Maybe you're making the Jew think you need Jesus. I don't understand it either. It's confusing me as well. You need therapy. You need therapy. You need professional like workshop things. I fucking hate that book. I hate that book. And the vendetta against that book is real. Yeah, I know. But I hate it so much, and I hate that so many people like it, and I hate how like she got a whole career out of bad fan fiction adaptation, and I hate how many romance authors get a good career out of bad fanfiction adaptation. And I'm saying that as somebody who, when I look at romance, the romance contemporary romance stuff, which I do like, I like it every once in a while. My favorite author in that landscape is Ashley Poston, who is a big fanfic writer. But her books are believably not stupid. And they're fantasy anyway. They're fantasy romance adjacent. It's all. Anyway, I hate the Love Hypothesis. And I don't understand how a book like that is really like objectively not very good is trashy in a lot of ways. God forbid you ever act like that in the real world. You would get kicked out of university real fucking quick. Need to get more into the focus. But I hate that it gets such a high rating. And then like another book, like I'm trying to think of a really good example, but like I know I mentioned episode 13, but I really liked that book. It was really good. Like it has a not very good rating on Goodreads. We can look it up. I don't know which one we'll use this one. Episode 13. I guarantee it's gonna have a pretty low one. 3.49. That's not bad for a horror book on Goodreads. But if we go over to the Love Hypothesis. Blech. Blech. 4.11! Goodreads Choice Award! Okay. Sorry, Batley. Go away. Go away, Batley. We don't need you right now. We need me to calm down and look at some of these reviews. 4.0 for this one. Apparently the cover's gorgeous. Yeah, it's pretty. I went this blind and found it to be awesome, unique take on zombies. Okay, yeah, you can kind of see that there's a zombie thing happening here. There's got that, oh, what is the name of that game? It's also an HBO series. What is that? What is it called? Last of Us, thank you. Yeah, it's got the Last of Us mushroom sort of vibes, only with aquatic plants. It's kind of cool. Did not see the twist coming, so there's a twist. Is it Cthulhu? I do wish we got to spend a little more time getting to know the characters and the island before the outbreak, but all in all, it was a good read. Definitely recommend to fans of YA horror, body horror, and zombie outbreak stories. Man, I stopped doing a advanced reader copies, except for the one that I just picked up for this month, because I just wasn't feeling good and couldn't keep up. But I wish I would have been on top of it, because I probably could have tried to get on this one. Content warnings. Yeah, we got a lot of really high ones. Love this book. That's pretty good. Alright. Yeah, I'm excited for that one, actually. Let's go ahead and go back and we're gonna add it to the read pile. No, we keep that up. We go over here, we get rid of that monstrosity, and come back to here. Oh, we have a Josh Malerman one. We talked about him a little bit in the last book stream. Yeah, we'll talk about this in just a second. But he does a lot of interesting things. Go ahead and look at it. I talked about, oh right, so this is helpful. It's telling us he did Bird Box, which I kind of forgot about. I didn't actually read it, but I did watch the film that they put on Netflix. And then I read Incidents Around the House, and then we also talked about Unbury Carol last stream. And I kind of like him as a voice in horror. He does a lot of interesting things, I think. So this one is how you too can be inspired in the face of fears that might hold you back from doing your best work. One night, best-selling author Josh Malerman, then just an aspiring writer, watched Sam Raimi's Evil Dead with his fiance and his two friends. It was a gathering that could have gone unnoticed. Another date night movie with a movie, but for Malerman, it became a landmark. It changed the course of his life, and it will inspire you to reflect on your own journey to discover existing triumphs that are within you already. Interesting. So this one's a nonfiction one. And it kind of seems like it's a little bit a little on writing ish, you know what I mean? But it seems to be that he's talking about his journey into becoming a horror author. Would be kind of interesting. So maybe maybe something that would be fun to read, but maybe not for spooky season. Maybe we keep this for later. Maybe if you're a fan of his work, or if you haven't read any of his work before, I would probably suggest reading it before you get into it. And that's coming out on the 16th. Let's see what else there is. I don't know, maybe. Am I gonna break my multi-year-long streak of only reading fiction? Oh. See, the funny thing is that even in that time, I was reading nonfiction. I just didn't I didn't add it to my list of things. But, like, at the time, I was going through a lot of, like, conversion classes and stuff like that. So I was reading about Judaism so much. Like, in 2022, like, a lot. So, yeah, I was reading a lot of other things. I just didn't add them into my, like, tallies. I don't know, but maybe. Maybe I will, and I'll add it. Okay, so this is confusing me. I don't understand. It is Stephen King, my friends. My friends, Stephen King does Hansel and Gretel with Maurice Sendak as the illustrator. It's a children's book? Weird. The haunting tale of two brave children lost in a dark and dangerous forest, reimagined by literary legend Stephen King and Marie Sendak in an all-new picture book. No, that sounds like kind of fun, right? I'd fuck with that, yeah. Guys, it's 48 pages. That's like the perfect length. Let Stephen King, global best-selling and award-winning author, and Marie Sendak, the beloved creator of the Caldecott medal-winning Where the Wild Things Are, guide you in the most deliciously daring rendition of the classic grim fairy tale yet. But will you find your way back out? With a personal introduction from Stephen King, the beautiful book has been created in close collaboration with the Marie Sendak Foundation. This stunning storybook makes the perfect gift for fans of King, Sendak, and the Brothers Grimm. And their progeny, apparently. Because maybe you'd read this to your kids. I don't know. I wish we could see some of it. Hold on. I don't want to... Let me see if I can find anything. Maybe I can on the other one. It is not showing. Oh, it's an ad time. Yeah, I'm not seeing the things that tell me that it's coming, so this is the perfect time for me to see if I can find any of it. Cancel. Yeah, I found something. There. Yay, I did it. I was trying to make sure I'm not doxing anybody. But look in here. But yeah, I found it has an Amazon listing. So we can see a little bit of the illustrations. Oh, okay. So maybe this is the mother? Or I don't know. Maybe it could be the witch. Well, there's a broom. So I guess it is the witch. Maybe she's got some pastimes because that's a lot of kids. Oh, that's that's creepy. Oh, pretty. Let's see. Once upon a time, before your grandmother's grandmother was born, a poor broom maker and his wife lived on the edge of a great dark forest with his two children, Hansel and Gretel. That's so cool. Oh, we can take a little. It has an excerpt here. The walkway leading to the cottage was paved with pink peppermint candies. The roof was made of overlapping cookies for shingles. The eaves were gumdrops that shone in the morning sun. The walls were made of those spicy gingerbread cakes known as, oh boy, le lebuchen? Lebuchen? Did I just Hebrew that ch there? Yeah, I did. Lebkuchen. The windows were spun sugar. Tall candy canes stood beside the door, which was open as if to say, "Come in, come in." "Oh, it smells so good," Gretel said. "Let's have some, for we are very hungry," said her brother. "I'll eat part of the wall, and you can have the window. That'll be very sweet." Hansel pulled some gingerbread from the wall and crammed it into his mouth. Tasty. Gretel, meanwhile, broke off a window pane of sugar and began to eat it. Delicious! Then from inside the cozy cottage there came a gentle voice that said, "Nibble, nibble, little mouse. Who is nibbling on my house?" Fun! It's creepy. Well, that's the point. That's the point of it. So that's good. All right. You go, Stephen King. You have you do your child book arc. You imagine being a drag queen and reading that? All right. So that's interesting. Good to know it exists. The house in the quiet. As long as there's not another tunnel scene. Oh. Oh. I don't remember Kirsten White. A Night Darkened. It's a fantasy. Give me a second. We're gonna go look at her so I can try to refresh myself. Like, what did I read of Kirsten White? Nothing. I want to read things from Kirsten. No. Okay, Hyde. I read Hyde. Oh, and I almost read Mr. Magic, but I didn't actually end up getting it before it left the library. Okay. Hyde was pretty good. Hyde was like one of the first books that got me. Literally, was... Okay, so the reason why I started doing reading was because at the time, I was a little tiny bit addicted to TikTok. Just a little addiction to TikTok. Who hasn't been there, you know? And I could feel that it was melting my brain. Liquefying it. I could feel it pouring out of my ears. It was a problem. And I noticed that I was having a really hard time reading and like tracking words on a page. Like I said, at the time I was going through conversion classes, and so I was reading a lot of dense literature. And I had gone through a lot of reading that type of literature through grad school and stuff like that, so I know it's stuff that I can typically read, but I was having trouble, and I was like, okay, so I think that maybe TikTok is having an effect on my brain and I need to stop. So I switched from doing TikTok scrolling at night to reading, and the thing that pushed me to do that was I watched a TikTok from a library or a bookstore, and they were like going around saying, "What's a book that you've read recently that you really, really liked?" And one of them was Hyde. And I liked it. I gave it a pretty good rating. Oh, a 3. That's not bad. It was alright. 3 says that I liked it. And yeah, no. It was a abandoned amusement park survival horror thing. And I like amusement parks, and I like abandoned things, so I don't really remember exactly everything that happened, but that, you know, it was a while ago. And I think that she does alright. Alright stuff. So let's see what this new thing is that she's worked on. The House of Quiet. Alright. It's a dark fantasy about a girl who will do anything to find her sister, including posing as a maid to infiltrate the mysterious House of Quiet. So did she pose as a maid or did she get a job as a maid? I think that's different. Oh, that's just my childhood house when my dad worked nights. The House of Quiet. Mm-hmm. To save her sister, she must enter the house. In the middle of a deadly bog sits the House of Quiet. It's a place for children whose procedure triggered powers too terrible to be lived with. What? Their last hope for treatment. No one knows how they're healed or where they go afterward. What the fuck is this? Birdie has begged, bargained, and blackmailed her way inside as a maid, determined to find her missing sister, Magpie. I'm judging a little bit with these names. But when she discovers what she discovers is more mysteries. Instead of destitute children who undergo the procedure in hopes of social advancement, the house brims with aristocratic teens wielding strange powers they never should have been burdened with. Though Birdie wants to ignore them, she can't help being drawn to stoic and silent forest, charmed by clever river, and concerned for the youngest residents. And with fellow maid Minnow, keeping tabs on everything Birdie does, danger is what are the names? Kirsten, what are you doing? In her desperate search for Magpie, Birdie unearths terrifying threats and devastating truths, forcing her to confront just how much she's willing to sacrifice to save her own sister. Because in the House of Quiet, if you find what's lurking beneath, you lose everything. Unravel the mystery, ignite the rebellion. Okay. This is coming out tomorrow. 3.85, which isn't terrible for a horror. Let's look at it from here, because the reviews here are better. The reviews here are less pompous. 3.78 is even lower, but like that's what I mean, I was feeling some things. Like this feels like a little, there's like a part of me that wants to read it because I like garbage, but it's like the part of me that recognizes my garbage detector is going off. Apparently the characters are lovable though. Let's see what the reviews say, if there's anything good in there. Too much. Too much information. This is wild, it's unique and difficult to get into at first. It's very eerie. This is a book about children who have superpowers thanks to a mutation. The main character is searching for who cares? You're gonna be lost, it's gonna be strange, but you're going to keep reading so you can figure out what's going on. Every character is puzzling. Okay. Decent story with a banger ending. Oh, yeah. Maybe it would have done better on audio. Slow, heavy, and claustrophobic. Okay, so maybe not like a winner. But yeah, my garbage detector is going off on this one. It doesn't sound like it's a It doesn't sound like it's a great book. It doesn't sound like it's like, oh, this is gonna be one that I want to read over and over and over again, but it might be fun. I mean, it is a young adult, obviously, because there's kids in it. I don't know. I'm trying to decide if I put it in the to be read pile or not. I already have a lot in there, so I'm kind of like, well, maybe we don't. But like, garbage, tasty, tasty garbage. What do you guys think? You want to? Would you like to nom on some tasty garbage? A little bit, just delicious. Let's roll around in it. Or are you like, no, this sounds, this is worse than trash. This is like icky trash that you don't want to roll around in. This is like, we can't bring up love hypothesis again. There's got to be something else. What's another book I don't like? Oh, okay. Like last month we talked about it at the last book stream where I read that that book that I complained bitterly about. Where I was like, this was entertaining, but it wasn't good. Is it that, or is it something that I'm gonna complain bitterly about, or is it something that I'm gonna be like, ooh, this was dumb, but I had a fun time while I was here. So to be read, do I put it to the to be read pile, or do we skip it? I love garbage. I love garbage too. Have a good rest, Jinx. Get some good sleep. We will see you later. Hmm. What do we want? Do we want to put this in the to be read? Do we want to put it in the to be read? Yeah, it does make me think of the Home for Peculiar Children. I didn't read that. I feel like I like missed the boat on that, where I was like, oh, I'm a little bit too old to be reading this. But I did hear it was good. Let's add it provisionally. It's one that'll be easy to be taken out later if we don't like it. Alright. Okay. House of Quiet. There's a new Christina Lauren. This is a fun one. Good afternoon. This is a fun one. Christina Lauren. She's a romance writer, and by she I mean they, because it's two women. It's like besties that write, and one is named Christina and the other one's name is Lauren. And I just think that's a fun fact. It's a fun fact. Who fucking cares what J.K. Rowling is doing? Nobody cares. Nita Prose does the Maid series. And I guess Grady Hendrix is releasing the Home for Wayward Girls, or whatever the name of that book one is. It came out earlier, I think this year. I think that's coming out in Spanish. So fun. We're gonna look at the next month too, because we want to look at some things. We're getting into holiday stuff. Wait, is this holiday like? I just am curious. Okay, no, we're Christmas. I wondered if it was gonna be like holiday, like because it's October, you know, and it's ghosted and good spirits, and I don't know. I see what they're doing though. Okay. So I like when I do romance, I like a lot of like paranormal romance, which is just there's ghosts and stuff involved with it, or some sort of. the word? Uh, yeah, there's some sort of like spirit or supernatural happening. Is that Kirsten again? What are you doing? Oh no, that's a different one. Right? Yeah, that's Kirsten White. Okay, no, I know what's happening. Kirsten Miller is somebody else. We could take a look at this Joe Hill one, see if we think it's anything interesting. Again, I haven't read a Joe Hill novel, but I did read the first volume of Lock and Key. That's good. So this one's coming out on the 21st of October. Arthur Oakes is a reader, dreamer, and student at Rackham College, Maine, renowned for its frosty winters, exceptional library, and beautiful buildings. But his ideal and burgeoning romance with Gwen Underfoot is shattered when a local drug dealer and her partner corner. Sorry, this is a weird way of writing this. When a local drug dealer and her partner corner him in one of the worst crimes he can imagine, stealing rare books from the college library. Trapped and desperate, Arthur turns to his closest friends for comfort and help. Together they dream up a wild, fantastical scheme to free Arthur from the cruel trap in which he finds himself. Wealthy, irresistible Colin Wren suggests using the unnerving Crane Journal, bound in the skin of its own author, to summon a dragon to do their bidding. Okay. The others, brave, beautiful Allison Shiner, the battling twins Donna and Donovan McBride, and a brainy, bold Gwen, don't hesitate to join Colin in an effort to smash reality and bring creatures of the impossible into our world. But there's nothing simple about dealing with dragons, and their pact to save Arthur becomes a terrifying bargain in which six must choose a new sacrifice for King Sorrow every year or become its next meal. Okay, well, take your time. I'm sorry. Okay, this is interesting. It's interesting. I love an ensemble cast, so that's got something going for it. I do like there's other like college books that are similar to this in some way. So I'm thinking of the Ninth House series by Lee Lee Bardugo. That was close. This one I read earlier this year. It's the Alex Stern series. Okay, so this was something that my sister actually recommended to me. Bubs, if you ever see this, I love you. Thank you for this recommendation. It was really good. Just a really fast-paced fantasy thriller with like horror vibes going on in it, and then like some disturbing stuff going on with it. It was a little disturbing in the beginning, but then like it got like really good. And then the second book was also really interesting, but they take place on Harvard. No, maybe Yale was one of those. And it's like a secret society and stuff like that. So kind of like the concept of there being a of these paranormal horror adjacent fantasies on college campuses. I think they do really well, and I think that the reason why they do very well is because they're easily serialized. And it's something that you can see becoming a TV series. Welcome back. I'm just talking about why college campus horror and fantasy horror does well. So you see it in other things like The Magicians. I don't remember who wrote that one. But I read the first book. I might have read the second book also. They were pretty good, and that made a really good sci-fi, at least the first season series that was like it's just so easily serialized that I think that's why it does really well. So this one I think only has the 2 books. Yeah. So I could see this one being expanded upon if you ever wanted to do that. It sounds interesting. It does remind me of the of Ninth House and the Alex Stern series. Um, just because it's just like that fantasy thing. Because they're kind of like cops, so maybe not. I don't know. It's interesting. I kind of like it. I'm into it. I like the concept of the um ensemble cast, and I just like an ensemble cast, to be perfectly honest. This one feels like early King stuff, so I guess apples, trees, you know. I know, interesting. Let's take a look at it over here. What was it? King Sorrow. By Joe Hill. Readers who savor dark academic horror. There we go, academic horror. That's what that's called. Where dread of being devoured by an ancient debt feels as intimate as first love and as endless as a frostbitten winter night. All right, okay, all right, AI, you're doing some stuff there. Oh, pretty high rating here. What did they put it for this? 5. All right. I'm more willing to believe Storygraph. Is that silly of me? I don't know. I feel like I vibe with the readers on Storygraph a lot more often. Dark Academia. It does well, but I just mean like when you do something that's something on a college campus, I find that it's really easy to serialize it because you can have it go on for the 4 years of college. But we all know, most people go to college for 5 years, and then you could do grad school. You could stay there. That could be 10 years. You PhD. You could do uh student teaching in the dragonology department or something. I don't know. But it's in okay. So maybe they didn't love these characters so much. At least the cast is diverse, which is different than what King does. And there's character development. We're a little bit mixed plot and character development. Overwhelmingly medium. Let's look at a review or two. I went into this one not really knowing what to expect, and I didn't think I'd end up loving it quite as much as I did. The pacing really impressed me. I expected it to dip somewhere in the middle, but it never did. It kept me invested right through. What made it for me was the characters. They weren't perfect. They felt human, complicated, and easy to care about. By the end, I was completely invested in their lives. All right. Uh, I resented having to put this down for breaks. The dragon and Arthur with references to the sword and the trips to Cornwall were great. I'd been missing. I'd been to Tintagel. Tintagel? Tintagel? Oh, fuck. Quite recently, and there's a lot of history there around King Arthur. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Okay. I didn't clock that at first, which is devastating of me that I did not. That makes me kind of like it more. All right, Joe Hill. Okay, Joe Hill. Maybe we'll do. Maybe we'll try it. Maybe we'll do it. I don't know. Where are we at for time? We're doing pretty good. I didn't know if this was gonna be a long one or not. I didn't know what was gonna happen. I'm just trying some shit, guys. I don't. We're vibing today because I do not feel well. Fuck. Okay. It's all we're having a good time, I think. I'm having a good time. The women of Wild Hill, modern day witches. Okay. Waging war on the patriarchy. You tell I read a lot of feminist fiction. I don't remember who Kirsten Miller is. So let's see who she is. What did I read from you? Don't Tell a Soul. Yes, I do remember this one a little bit. It was a young adult one that was a retelling of something. What was this? This was a retelling of Rachel? Somebody say it in there? No. I don't remember. It's a retelling of something. Rebecca. Yeah, okay. There's similarities. It's I think it's a retelling of Rebecca. It also mentions it in the actual text. I think I liked it. Let's see what I gave it. Yeah, 3. It wasn't bad. Another YA one. So, okay. A witty, spectacular, and timely tale of modern day witches waging war on the patriarchy from fan favorite Kirsten Miller, the author of The Change, Lula Dean's Little Library of Banned Books. I'll have to look at that. That sounds like fun. There are places on Earth where nature's powers gather. Girls raised there are bequeathed strange gifts. A few have powers so dark that they fear to use them. But such a place is Wild Hill, on the tip of Long Island. Ugh, I'm not reading great today. For centuries, the ghost of a witch. For centuries, the ghost of a witch murdered by colonists claimed the beautiful and fertile Wild Hill until a young Scottish woman with strange gifts arrived. Sadie Duncan was allowed to stay. I'm getting like practical magic vibes actually, a little bit. Practical magic vibes from just, like the family background, you know what I mean? And I like I think that was New England, but something about that is striking me with that sort of feel. This one feels like it has been like designed to be something that like progressive feminist young women are going to want. We have modern day witches waging war with the patriarchy. And then the ghosts that were murdered by colonists. I don't know. Feels a little engineered for that, which like is fine. I don't have anything against that. That's not a criticism. That is I am noticing things. 5 generations of Sadie's descendants called Hill home, each generation more powerful than the last. Then, in the aftermath of a terrible tragedy, the last of the Duncans, once prophesied to be the most powerful of their kind, abandoned their ancestral home. Are you kidding me? I'm gonna have to try to say that name. One of them, Bridget Laguerre, moved to California and turned her dark gift into fame and fortune. Her sister Phoebe settled on a ranch in Texas where women visit in secret for her tonics and cures. Phoebe's daughter Sybil has become a famous chef. Seemingly powerless, Sybil has never been told of the Duncan bloodline. Now Bridget, Phoebe, and Sybil have been brought to Wild Hill to discover their family legacy. The Old One, furious at the path of mankind has taken, has chosen 3 powerful witches to turn the tide. The Duncans will fulfill their destinies, but only if they can set aside their grievances and come together as a family. I don't know if I would call this horror, to be perfectly honest, but maybe. Seems a little more fantasy, magical realism for sure, but paranormal. We could go with paranormal. This one's set for October 7th. This one has a really high rating. See what I mean? It is engineered for a specific type of person. I don't know if that person is me. Let's see. Let's see what our friends on Storygraph have to say. Also a really high rating. Not as high, I don't think so. See what I mean? I guess the one criticism that I'm thinking is, I guess there is a slight criticism that I have when I feel those like buzzwordy type of things that are like really, they feel a little bit forced, and so like it's like I question the quality of the writing for something that has to force those types of buzzwords to try to pick up its audience. And I guess that's something that's a slight criticism, but it's more of a like, oh, I don't really know. I'm wary of what's going on here. We'll go ahead and look at a review though. Highly recommend. I received the complimentary copy. Line of 8 Duncan family witches has lived. Beautiful writing, fantastic plot line, and strong character development. Okay. The writing is phenomenal. I can say that even with the last one that I read of hers, that was a young adult, I did think that the writing was nice. Like, it has pretty nice prose, especially for a young adult novel. This one's not. This one's obviously an adult, general audience one. I enjoyed getting to know each of the women in the Women of Wild Hill and how their lives intertwined. The writing and the storytelling was captivating throughout, making this book hard to put down. Ultimately, the tone was too agenda heavy for my liking. Okay, like that's what I was kind of saying, was like, ugh. I like when books get political. But I think that sometimes if you try to force a political undertone into a story, it comes off a little preachy in a way that maybe I wouldn't like. And to be clear, like all of the political things that are happening in this book, that I can tell from the words that I picked up from the thing, I think are things that I agree with. So like, you know, I find myself to be especially for an American, very progressive person. I, you know, eat the rich and all that, and down with colonization and save Palestine, you know, like all of those things are in my world view. And so I think that I would align with what the agenda that the book is pushing, but I guess I am wary of a book that is pushing an agenda like that, and if they're able to weave that agenda into the narrative well enough for it to be good. Does that make sense? I don't know. I'm cautious of this one. It does have a really high rating though, so maybe it's good. But also I don't trust people. People are dumb. Maybe we'll go ahead and add it to the to be read, but I don't know if I'll actually get to it. But if it comes up, it comes up. let's look at our other ones. Okay. So we'll get into more spooky ones. We're gonna go to another thing because we have a Gene Meltzer one coming out, and I do you see? Do you see? Well, we could keep it for later, but do you see what I'm excited about? Cause I'm pretty excited. I'm not gonna lie. I read the matzo ball was a fun time. I'm a my keyboards. I'm sorry. I'm I'm just really excited for there to be another Hanukkah centric holiday novel, because I think because like I like those dumb Hallmark romances, so it's nice for there to be a Hanukkah one. I want to see when Hanukkah is because I haven't paid attention. I know Rosh Hashanah is this month, so I don't think we have an early one. Okay, yeah, we're the week before Christmas. We like, yeah, that's good. Okay, we're pretty close to Christmas. Last time we overlapped. And then the year before that, it was like in November, and everybody was really confused. I tried to type a while back, and the Alt key was stuck, and it closed the window twice. Oh no! How many times did you have to watch ads? I'm sorry. Hmm. I think I'm connected. I want to say that the one review saying the book it was agenda heavy or whatever is a little sus because you never know what someone's personal agenda is. I also agree with that, but it is something that um it's something that like I even clocked on it that it was like, oh, this is definitely trying to target a certain person, and I am a little bit wary of when I can pick up the agenda by buzzwords. Like if I'm picking up the agenda from other stuff, then that's fine. Like from the story, but because I don't think that they needed to say it was colonists. Cause that might not have been what it was, but like yeah, no, I personally just like feel like I picked up some buzzwords from this that was like, okay, we are definitely like hard feminist, progressive, liberal takes um on this, which are things that I agree with. But I am concerned that maybe they don't weave those into the narrative very well when they're adding those words. But to be honest, like it's hard to sell books. So I get that if you're gonna try to reach your audience, you do it however you do. I will leave those reservations at the door, and I'll try to read it if I can get it. I'll try to get it. Let's see. Yeah, no. So I'm excited for there to be a Christmas, not Christmas, a holiday, winter holiday thing for me that will we might look at it later, but we're not. That's not what we're here for. Like I might put it like while I agree with the agenda of this book, I felt like it hit in the face with it too much and I just wanted to enjoy the story or something. Yeah, maybe. No, yeah, no, I totally agree that I'm a little suspicious of that particular reviewer. That maybe they are a little trumpet player, you know what I mean? But I don't I don't know that for sure. I don't know that for certain, so I don't want to speculate, but because I picked it up too, I'm just kind of like, I'm a little, I don't know. We'll see how this goes though. It has such high reviews, and everybody else is saying how they couldn't put it down. And even that reviewer was like, oh yeah, it was really nice the characters were really well written and stuff like that. We have a Tiffany D. Jackson. who does more thriller type stuff. I'm trying to remember which one I read from her. Mm, mm, mm. Oh, White Smoke. That's correct. I think there's something else I did recently from her. Going to drive me crazy unless I look. Nope, apparently not. I only read White Smoke. Okay, White Smoke is so good. It is so good. If you, I know it's young adult. We're doing a lot of young adult today. Well, young adult and horror has a thing going on right now. So there's a lot of the books that are coming out are gonna be young adult, unfortunately. But it was just such a good haunted house racism craziness story. Um, so good. I really liked it. Okay, White Smoke was so good. So we have a new one, The Scammer. So again, very like thriller mystery with some horror aspects to it a lot of times. The other one had like a haunted house thing going on that was like giving me like the creepy the eepy creepy feelings, the spiders on your back sort of thing. Um so I don't know about this one, but I've never read anything else from her. I probably should. But that I think this is the only thing that my library had. I have to beg them to get other things. New York bestselling times. Ripped from the headlines thriller. Uh, a freshman girl whose college life is turned upside down when her roommate's ex-convict brother moves into their dorm and starts controlling their every move. Ooh. Out from under her overprotective parents, Jordan is ready to kill it in pre-law and at a prestigiously historically black university in Washington D.C. We have the ex-convict living on their sofa. How are you gonna say no to one of your new best friends? That's true. Devante is older, as charming as he is intelligent, pushing every student he meets to make better choices about their young lives. But Jordan senses something sinister beneath his friendly advice and growing group of followers. Oh, we get some cult vibes. When one of Jordan's roommates goes missing, she must enlist the help of the university's lone white student to uncover the mystery or become trapped in the center of a web of lies more tangled than she can imagine. Interesting. So I don't think we have anything paranormal happening in this one. I tend to prefer paranormal stuff. 4.17 is pretty high, but again, it hasn't been published yet. So this is based on ARC reviews, and those are people who want to read this type of content because you have to apply for it. So the Scammer, Tiffany D. Jackson. And this one's a little bit lower. Nope, higher. Let's see what the AI thing says, because I think that sometimes that's nice. For readers who crave dark psychological young adult thrillers centered around an intoxicating pool of manipulation and terror of waking up inside someone else's design. Ideal if you want breakneck pacing, razor sharp tension, and morally slippery charisma more than extensive backstory or gentle introspection. If you're hooked by campus shadows, whispering promises, and the dread that a real danger already sleeps down the hall. Okay, sleeps down the hall. That's pretty good. It sounds interesting. It's definitely like giving so much more thriller vibes, which I don't know if I like. I don't want a back story. I want what you think of it. Okay, stop it. How addicting it is to be something part of something that's more than you. Yeah, this is. I don't know. I've been like watching a lot of content that has stuff to do with cults recently. So I think that's why I'm like, charismatic leader. That's a cult. Okay. Approached the topic of cult behavior in a way that made it really engaging to read. It felt realistic for the most part and felt like I was reading a true crime story. Okay, so we're more in the true crime area. Discussed other topics in a smart way as well, such as racism, classism, and coming of age. Finished the book in 2 days. Don't want to put it down. Yeah, that's how I felt with White Smoke as well. So I'm kind of interested in this one, but I don't think it is going along with our horror prerogative. But I'm still gonna put it on my. We're gonna put it there because I won't remember it exists and I will forget. Anybody else? We could be rats. Oh, they are not. A thing. They are not horror and Titus Dirma. I suck at. I should have looked up how to say people's names. Let's take a look at them. They are another Black author, and they wrote a. Is this the second one? It is. Oh, I think it is. Okay, so Immortal Dark is a book I read earlier this year. Oh, yeah, this cover is beautiful, isn't it? We gotta go look at Immortal Dark. You gotta see that one too. Look at this cover. Look at this cover. It's gorgeous. Ignore this one. Okay, so this is another sort of young adult. This is another campus dark academia one. That is vampires, but they're black and they're in like a historic black college, and they have like these bloodline situation thing that I don't fully remember or understand. um I don't I It is a difficult one to describe, but this is the second book of it, and I read the first book and I devoured it and I went, where's the second one? What's happening with that? And then it was like, nope, you have to wait several months in order to read it. Haha. Sucks to be you, Callie. You have to wait until the 28th of October to read this. And I cried a little bit and whined a lot. I did write a review on this one. If I can find it. It's too long. Oh, to wait. I'm going to find my review. I'm going to see if I can find it. Because it shouldn't be that far. It shouldn't be that far, she says. Maybe it is kind of far, actually. Oh no. Shouldn't be that far. I read it. I'm getting there. I see other things that are close to what it was. So it feels like we're close. It feels like we're close. Yeah, am I running through my blue sky right now? Yes, I am. That is for sure what's happening. Did I miss it? I think I might have missed it. There's a lot of pictures of my dogs. They're very important, though. No, so it would have been okay. I'm getting close. I am absolutely getting close because I saw my books guy um post about my month roundup. So it's here. It's happening. So close. I can feel it. Here we go. Okay. Magic University with Vampires Ethiopian Lore. That's right. Okay. I found it. How can I do this? It's hard to get it onto the right window so that it'll pick it up. Hello. Yeah. Ethiopian love, major life and death stakes with an enemies to lovers, but with the undertone of rage. Rage all through it. Yeah, oh, that's right, it did. It left off with a cliffhanger, which is why I was so fucking mad about it. That I was like, I have to wait. I have to wait until October, and I posted this on February 18th. That's how long I've been waiting. Yeah, I wanted to get to the quote because I remember the quote was really good. The world loves to punish girls who dream in the dark. I plan to worship them. And oh my god. So the romance in this, dark romance, obviously, but like not dark romance in the way that a lot of dark romance goes off, especially like white people dark romance, where it's like rapey. This instead, like she's bursting with rage. This whole woman is rage incarnate. And the person who the romance ends up happening with is the man she has bloodlust for. And then he's a vampire. Sort of. But the lore of it has roots in Ethiopian folklore, and it was just so good. So I know that this was not worth it for me to find the review. I was hoping I said something better, but this is what we got. I'm really excited for this one. So, like all ruinous things, he came from the abyss. Eden Adane has finally embraced her darkness. Finally, it was alright. She's killed without remorse, broken Uxley University's most sacred law by inviting elusive rogue vampires, the Nephrasi, into their campus. That's true. That's what's something that happened. And made a truce with the one vampire she swore she'd never trust. Susino Sagad. That's how you say it. Yep. I listened to the audiobook along with this. Susinos is the one, and is he hot? He's sexy. She's sexy too, to be honest. I would not mind being between these two. Trapped with a violently unstable vampire and reeling from her sister. Oh, right. He has something going on with this house, and there's some sort of like magic thing that's like making it so that he can't control his bloodlust vampire outbursts so much. Anyway, reeling from her sister's return, Kiran wields her anger like a weapon. She vows to master her house and protect the sacred artifact hidden within, even if it means forging an alliance with the depraved leader of the Nephrasi, Samson Sigard. By betraying Sisinus, I always feel like I'm saying his name wrong, in the process. When Kiran stumbles across a dangerous new philosophical text, it seems to hold the answers she seeks and promises the very thing that she can control. As the dark pages consume her, Kiran realizes that the soul at realizes no soul at Uxley is trustworthy. Least of all Sisinus. For Kiran and Sisinus, the lines of loathing and attraction may blur, but the quest of power rules them both, and neither of them is willing to surrender. Ooh. As devastating secrets resurface from the past, Kiran and her sister June must finally confront each other and take their rightful places in the looming war. The second installment of the deliciously dark, dangerously romantic Black Vampire trilogy from the #1 New York Times bestseller, Tajas Girma. Praise for Immortal Dark. Okay, yeah, and then it goes into like how good the first book was. It was so good. That was my quote. Right here, it says Say Kelly. So fucking good. Why'd I have to wait so long to read the second book? I just want to see. They should just kiss. They should just kiss. Anyway, yeah, very excited about this one. When's this one coming out? On the 28th of October. Okay. Alright. Just in time for Halloween. Let's go ahead and get this one. Eternal Ruin. I gotta go put these all into Libby. Because how you read so many books, how do you remember a book you read so long ago? It was that good. And I'm not remembering all the details. I'm just sitting here being like, oh yeah, I've been waiting for this one. Just wait. There's some that are coming out. There's another installment from the Hurricane Wars that I'm expecting. I don't know when that's coming out. If Tasman Muir ever actually goes on with the Gideon the Ninth series, we have a book we're waiting for. I haven't read a book of it in like years at this point. Where is my Electa the Ninth? I need it. But like I remember those. So no, that's how, if it's a really good book, I remember a lot of it. And also, yeah, White Smoke I read in 2022. I did remember. I don't know. I remember books. I don't remember all the details, but I remember a good amount of it to read. Anyway, I'm putting that in there. Let's see how this one. Ooh, I like to see the. Oh yeah, you get me. The Storygraph. You understand me. The breathtaking sequel of the #1. Oh wait, no. A dark academic fantasy for readers who crave morally corroding power plays, toxic devotion, and an ache of choosing control over the people who you were supposed to save. I'm so excited. Yes, it says fiction fantasy, but hey, there's vampires. I count that as horror. I say it's horror-ish. Oh, wow. People were... Oh, there's only 3 reviews. There must not be... Interesting. Maybe there's no arcs. I remember waiting for these. Yeah, I don't think there's any arcs. Oh, sorry. I was saying it's just because they're good books. I remember a lot of things about good books. If they're really bad books, then I don't remember them. But no, I think that I remember most books that I've read. I have to like get something to jog my memory. So like the Book of Accidents. I hadn't read that since 2022, I think, or 2023. And so I couldn't remember a lot of things about it, but I was like, yeah, no, I remember it's about a family and there's like there's like time travel, something going on and paranormal things and ghosts and dysfunctional stuff. And yeah, I remember some of it, but I can't remember all of the characters. So it was worth rereading to me, because there was a lot that I was like, oh, I did not remember this. Well, like, I remember Hyde. I forget character names a lot in some plot points, but if I'm reading a series, I have to reread. That's interesting. Yeah, I sometimes like to reread, but like for this one, I read this earlier this year, so I don't feel it's necessary. If anything, I might like look up a longer review of it from somebody, because sometimes the reviews go in really deep. For a while there, when I finished a book, I would write a whole synopsis of it. So especially those books, because I didn't know if I was going to make content out of it or not. I haven't done that in a while because I feel like I read books too fast to do that. Because then that's like, I've read 3 books this month already. Could you imagine trying to write a fucking essay every time I finish a book? Because that's what they end up being, is a whole essay of me being like, this is what happened. Yeah, I know. They were shorter books. No, they weren't. I'm sorry. One of them was very long. One of them was like 460 pages. But yeah, I've read 3 books. Or I'm about to finish another one. I might be at 2.5, and I'm gonna finish one tonight if I can help it. I'm reading The Pallbearers Club by Paul Tremblay. I don't know. It's on Hoopla. I'm mostly doing the audiobook because I can't listen to the audiobook and read the text like I like to do. So I'm kind of like going back and forth a little bit. Yeah, I like Tremblay too. I really liked the one with the girl. It's not helpful. The one with the girl and the family, and she's possessed, but is she possessed? But she's possessed, is she? And there's like the little sister or something, and a lot of it is, I think it's told through the little sister's eyes mostly. Head full of ghosts, thank you. Yes, that one was really good. I like that one. I think I've only read that one in the horror movie one. Horror movie. That's what it actually is called. I read that one and it was pretty good. I personally like Head Full of Ghosts better, but it's like more in line with the stuff that I kind of like. But I think that that horror movie was a beautiful love letter to like the horror film genre, and it was really good. I'm just gonna see if anybody actually read this or if they're just whining that they didn't get to read it yet. No. They pushed it earlier. So yeah, no, they didn't, at least there hasn't been any advanced reader copies out yet. It's still pretty early. Since this one's not coming out until the end of October, there's still time. They might wait, because like I have one that's coming out in, I think, early October that I just got the ARC for. And I'm waiting until the end of the month a little bit to read it, because otherwise I'll forget too much about it cause you can't add like Amazon reviews until it's been, I think it's like a few days before it's been published or after. So I don't want to do that one until I've actually sat down and until it's closer to the time when I can add an Amazon review. Otherwise I'll forget and I won't remember to post it, and I don't want to do that to this author. So I'm trying to like hold back. But yeah, I'm very excited for this one. Let's see if there's anything else going on. We can go into November, but I don't want to. I did want to see, I think we missed one from the last one that is interesting. Because I scrolled too fast. I got too excited about Play Nice. Yeah. Bryn Weaver. So Bryn Weaver is one of the trashy trash things that, you know, it's the thing that I love that I feel really bad about. Did the Ruinous Valentine or Ruinous Love series, I can't remember what it is, with the serial killers who have the romance, and it goes by the brothers, and the love interest is in there. For some reason they're all serial killers and everybody is a serial killer, and there's a lot of serial killers in this world. and it gets kind of icky, and it's so dumb and so unbelievable and bad, but at least there's no. Oh. The thing that makes this different for me than like the Love Hypothesis, because it's sort of similar vein. It's contemporary romance that's a little bit silly. Um, the thing that makes this different for me though is that this is not taking itself too seriously, where I felt like a lot of the Love Hypothesis did end up taking itself a little too seriously, in a way that it was like, this is unbelievable, this is also stupid, and I don't know, at least like the premise of this is understandably dumb. I don't know what it is, but I really liked that series. It was funny, it was stupid as hell. um I think the first book was really the best out of all of them. But the other ones had their moments too, and they finished it up earlier this year around Valentine's Day, I think, and it was pretty good. But it was the end of the whole series, and now they are starting a new series, the Seasons of Carnage trilogy. Welcome to Cape Carnage. Visit once, stay forever. Cape Carnage is a seaside town of colorful houses, quirky shops, and an unusually high body count. Oh god. But with the tourists comes trouble, and Harper Starling won't let anyone ruin her picture perfect home. A skilled gardener with killer instincts, Harper protects her sanctuary at any cost, especially for her aging mentor and fading memory. With a fading memory. Oh, okay, I'm fine. Troublesome tourists don't check out of Carnage. They compost beneath Harper's award-winning flower beds, but Nolan Rhodes isn't your average tourist. Devilishly handsome, disarmingly charming, and skilled with a blade, Nolan is relentless in the pursuit of revenge. On every anniversary of the hit-and-run accident that fractured his life, Nolan slays another target, and he saved the best for last, the undeniably beautiful Harper Starling. The problem? Harper isn't the monster he expected, and she won't go down without a fight. When an amateur true crime investigator comes to Cape Carnage on the trail of a long-lost serial killer, Harper and Nolan strike an uneasy truce. If Nolan helps Harper protect her town, she'll keep quiet about his hunting habits. For now, their alliance soon spirals into obsession, one that threatens to shatter every secret in Carnage, including their fragile love. Horror Season is a darkly funny, slow burn enemies to lover romance where destruction and desire are balanced on the edge of a blade, where love is the most dangerous battleground of all. Ooh boy. Trash. It sounds trashy. It sounds like trash. It sounds kind of yummy though. Kind of delicious. Yeah, I know. It sounds awful. It sounds awful. That's what I felt. Okay. So the first couple of times when I saw Butcher and Blackbird, that's the first of the Ruinous Love series, I was like, this is dumb. Why are you trying to get me to read this? Why does this keep on coming up for me? This does I don't want to read this. Stop showing it to me. I don't want to read this. And then finally I was like, okay, I've read everything that I did want to read, and I'm running out of things. I don't know what to read. I don't want to read anything that's in my TBR. I need to pick something. And so I grabbed it just thinking, it'll be fun. I love garbage things. It'll be fun to make fun of it. And it is fun to make fun of it. Let me be very clear. I know it's dumb. But I think that Bryn Weaver is actually just funny. And the way that she writes these stupid, stupid stories that are really fucking dumb and make no sense is just fucking funny, and I can't help it. It makes me laugh. It doesn't make me feel anything, and the sex scenes are kind of hot. Oh, wrong book. 4.59. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I was like, I bet you anything that it's gonna be smaller here. This one actually has reviews because it comes out pretty soon. It comes out on the 23rd, I think. I'm still shattered from finding out this new series is continuous, not a full standalone character books. So pardon me while I weep because cliffhanger. Ooh. It's fun. Yeah, it sounds like everything that I. It sounds like her previous stuff. But she's like a one note author, which, you know. So is Stephen King. Anyway, we're gonna put this over there and just like understand. We know it's garbage, but it might be fun. It might be fun garbage. So that's one way to look up new stuff is to go through you can go through your personal new releases, especially if you're looking for this. But you can go by this too, and you might be able to find something in like fantasy or sometimes science fiction will have horror stuff in it too. And then like if you don't read horror, this also is really helpful. And you can see things that are coming out that are going to be popular. So we see over here Taurus season is up here because it Bryn Weaver and the Ruinous Love series was really popular. It's definitely like it's like a book talk thing for sure. And then again, we also see Rachel Harrison is up on here because once again, really popular author. We also actually see other horror stuff coming up over here. This one, We Love You, Bunny. I don't know what that one's about, but that one's over here. And we're going to take a look at it because I don't even know this author. I should have put it in a different thing. That's okay. Oh, it's a second one. So maybe we take a look at the first one. Funny. This has a Goodreads Choice Award. Is it just a nominee? So this is from 2019. Interesting. Okay. We were just these innocent girls in the night trying to make something beautiful. We nearly died. We very nearly died, didn't we? Samantha Heather Mackey couldn't be more of an outsider in her small, highly selective MFA program at New England's Warren University. Okay, we're doing a lot of dark academia lately. A scholarship student who prefers to convey her dark imagination to that of most people, she's utterly repelled by the rest of her fiction writing cohort. A clique of unbearably twee rich girls who call each other Bunny and seem to move and speak as one. Ooh, a little bit of a hive mind going on. But everything changes when Samantha receives an invitation to the Bunny's fabled smut salon and finds herself inexplicably drawn to their front door, ditching her only friend Ava in the process. As Samantha plunges deeper and deeper into the Bunny's sinister yet saccharine world, beginning to take part in the ritualistic off-campus workshop where they continue their monstrous creations, the edges of reality begin to blur. Soon, her friendships with Ava and the Bunnies will be brought into deadly conclusion. Smut salon? Hell yeah. The spellbinding new novel from one of our most fearless chroniclers of female experience, Bunny is a down the rabbit hole tale of loneliness, belonging, friendship, and desire, and a fantastic and terrible power of dark academia, magical realism, horror. Yeah. Okay. I've never heard of this. But that's not super unsurprising. It's hard to find things. Let's actually, I'm gonna pull up my uh what is this called? Library of Libby. I don't want you guys to see it though, because you will know my hometown, and you don't need to know that, and nobody needs to know anything. Actually, I just want to see if they have it. They do have it. I'm gonna see. I don't think I can place a hold actually. Okay, well they have it. I'm not doxing myself, but it does exist. My library has it. Okay, so interesting. Good to know. I didn't want to get all excited and it not actually be there. By Mona. Oh, it's there. 3.65. Okay, it's a little higher on here. The Vegetarians meets Heathers in this darkly funny, seductive, strange novel from acclaimed author of 13 Ways Looking for a Fat Girl in Rouge. Internal server error is the AI one. Do they have a personalized one? No, it's not working. Okay. It's a literary. I could tell by the way that it was written out. I kind of like literary horror. It's interesting. And the fact that it's an MFA and it's dark academia. Let's take a look at... Oh, wow, there's a lot of reviews. Well, it's older, so that makes sense. And I really wanted to like this book. I truly love some of the imagery and the metaphors, brilliant ways of describing things. But it was overall so much going on that I ended up just lost in the story. Which, you know, might just be... I have a feeling sometimes when it's like literary, it can get people get lost in the sauce pretty easily. And if you're not somebody who's trained to with a literary eye, sometimes it can be a little bit difficult to get through it. Definitely the weirdest book I've ever read. I'm happy I read it. It was curious for a very long time. It was such a spooky, creepy fun. So much fun. Okay. Unhinged. I don't really understand the lower reviews. I don't mind the prose. I don't find the prose boring or slow, as some comments suggest. At time it drifts into a dreamlike quality, but the pacing feels exactly where it's meant to be. The writing is sharp, engaging, and overall very well crafted. As for the theme and plot, I don't take them literally. Literally. For me, this isn't a sci-fi novel or a story about actually conjuring things or boys. I love the madness of it, the sense of what on earth is happening now. But when you take a step back, it's clear the book is a shining light into deeper topics through stuff. Interesting. No, this sounds interesting. I kind of am into it. Maybe we put that on something so that I can remember it exists. I always forget to do this because it always puts in then the hardcover automatically, and I can't figure out how to change it to do like my preference, which is digital, and then I put it over here. So I'll have to go back and add the other ones that way. So I mean, I would be interested in the second one, provided that the first one is pretty good. But kind of, I can't say much on it without knowing what the first one is. This one's actually on my TBR. Mostly based on the fucking cover, because what? What? Hunger. It sounds good. And also I was just like, oh, haunting coming of age of Vietnamese immigrants. And I was like, okay, that sounds really fun. But yeah, a haunting coming of age tale following the daughter of Vietnamese immigrants, Ronnie Wynn, as she grapples with the weight of generational trauma while navigating a violent power of teenage girlhood. For fans of Jennifer's Body, and Little Fires Everywhere, which I also really loved that book. It's the summer before high school, and Ronnie Wynn finds herself too young for work, too old for cartoons. Her days are spent in the small backyard, dozing off to trashy magazines on a plastic lawn chair. In stark contrast stands her older brother Tommy, the pride and joy of their immigrant parents, a popular honor student destined to be the first in the family to attend college. The thoughts of Tommy leaving for college fills Ronnie with dread as she contemplates the quiet house she will be left alone in with her parents, Mi and Ba. Their parents rarely speak of their past in Vietnam, except through the lens of food. The family's meals are a tapestry of cultural memory, thick spring rolls with slim and salty nem chua. Okay. And steaming bowls of pho thai with thin, delicate slices of blood red beef. In the aftermath of the war, Mi and Ba taught Ronnie and Tommy that meat was a dangerous luxury, a symbol of survival that should never be taken for granted. Honestly, true. That's how I feel. I made Japanese curry recently. Thank you, by the way, Glitch and Jinx, for the curry paste you guys sent me. And I was able to make it, and it was so, but like I spent like 10 euros on beef, and I made it all tender in the instant pot, and it was so good. And it was just like both of us just being like, oh man, beef. We haven't had beef in so long. It was like my celebratory. I got my my disability money back. So I mean, it's gonna go away again soon because of some issues with French shit, but you know, we need to have celebrate when good things happen. And I had 3 meals out of that. So I know that like my meals are much smaller than like a normal person's meals, but like I got 3 meals out of it. So that was pretty good for 10 euros. Of that being the most expensive thing. There's carrots and potatoes and onion in there too. And rice. It was so good though. It's like my favorite meal. But when tragedy strikes, Ronnie's world is upended. Her sense of self and her understanding of her family are shattered. A few nights later, at her first high school party, a boy crosses the line, and Ronnie is overtaken by a force larger than herself. This newfound power comes with an insatiable hunger for raw meat, a craving that is both a saving grace and a potential destroyer. Oh. What hunger is a visceral emotional journey through bursts and pitfalls of female rage. Ronnie's Vietnamese lineage and her mother's emotional memory play a crucial role in this tender ode to generational trauma and mother-daughter bonding. Interesting. So some things that I'm thinking about with this is that also like there's Vietnamese dishes that include eating like raw beef that Westerners especially find icky. I personally am a little bit squeamish about eating raw beef. I'm squeamish about eating most raw meat. I can get behind a little bit of sushi, but there's a lot of that are just like, ooh, I don't know if I can handle that. Just as a texture thing for me, that I don't know if I can deal with that. So I kind of understand it, but it can come across as racist, and so I think that it would be I think there's something interesting that might be going on at play here, where we're doing a literary take of a horror trope and then like adding in this Vietnamese heritage through food. That sounds so interesting. Like that is my guess here. So this apparently was already published, because it's telling me it was first published August 12th. That's telling me that it's not going to be published yet. But I don't know. I do have it on my list though. So I'm interested in this one. It could be kind of cool. Maybe, yeah, maybe this was this article was published in August. I don't want to go all the way up and look. Girl Dinner. I don't know what this one's about. And I don't know Olivia Blake either. Atlas 6. No, I don't know that one. Girl Dinner is a darkly fun novel about power, lust, and eating your fill as wealthy moms and sorority girls practice a sinister new wellness trend. Good girls deserve a treat. I deserve a treat. No? Okay. Every member of the house, the most exclusive sorority on campus. What is it with the dark academia? Jesus Christ. After freshman year, she would rather forget sophomore. Nina, whoever, Bubba, once again taken in the fold. I don't know. Okay, so I'm trying to read through this a little bit fast because I might be tapped out on the dark academia. I might not be into it. This seems interesting. Sort of. I might maybe return to it at some point. This one's coming out October 21st, so it's not published yet. Maybe. We might look at it differently. I might feel different about it, but right now I'm just like, oh my god, this is like the 4th or 5th Dark Academia one that we've seen. Oh, another ad? How long do I have them on for? It might be once an hour, actually. Oh, it does not like that I'm itching my eye. What is it doing? Because I'm itching my eye. Ooh, it did not like that. Holy crap. Mm. Yeah, I don't know about this one. I'm not feeling it. So we're gonna go on to another one. We did that. I'm interested in anything written by somebody who is not a white man. So Isabel Cana. I don't know how to do the Spanish pronunciations very well. You're back. Welcome. Yeah, I'm giving up on Girl Dinner. I think that it sounds kind of interesting, but I don't know. This one, I don't know if I put this one on anything. I might have, or I might have. I don't remember. We'll look, though. So, I love paranormal. I've been loving historical more recently. I love gothic. I like gothic romance, paranormal horror. So, this feels like it's going to be up my alley. When a demonic presence awakens deep in a Mexican silver mine, the young woman it seizes must turn to the one man she shouldn't trust. From best-selling author. So, Mexican Gothic also had a silver mine in it, so that's kind of cool. In 1765, plague sweeps through Zacatecas? Fuck. Spanish. Alba flees with her wealthy merchant parents and fiance Carlos to his family isolated mine for refuge, but safety proves fleeting as other dangers soon bear their teeth. Alba begins suffering from strange hallucinations, sleepwalking, and violent convulsions. She senses something cold lurking beneath her skin, something angry, something wrong. Elias, hunted by a betrothed past, came to the New World to make his fortune and escape his family's legacy of greed. Alba, as his cousin's betrothed, is none of his business, which is, of course, why he can't help but notice her every time she enters a room, or the growing tension between them, and why he notices her deteriorate when the demon's thirst for blood grows stronger. Huh. Maybe. It seems like kind of a slow thing. This one's also already out. That might be why I was thinking about it. Let's try it here. The possession. Did I spell possession wrong? Yes. Possession of Alba. Yes. Hello, Marsupialami? Marsupialami. That's a cute name. How are you? Oh, it's a French comic book version. Thank you, French husband, for letting me know. What comic book? He's looking it up for me. That's the name of the character. Okay. Oh, no. I think I've seen this. I mean, like, around. I've been in France for 6 years, but I don't really do a lot of French. Well, I was going to today, but wasn't feeling good, so I didn't want to. We're doing horror books instead, because that's my happy place. We're taking a look at this book that came out recently that I have not read yet, but The Possession of Alba Diaz. I just wanted to see. Yeah, this one has a much higher rating here. Okay, not maybe much, but a lot. Seems like it's kind of good. We're gonna go ahead and throw it into my TBR for funsies. We'll just see. Or did I already do it? No, I didn't. Okay, it's in there. I'm from the United States. I now live in France, though. And I've been living here for 6 years because I married a French guy. Which is maybe my first no. Maybe not my first mistake, but it's not. Maybe my second mistake, my second marriage, my second mistake. There's one that I wanted to look at with you guys that I thought was really interesting. Well, these ones. So we have one from Gretchen Felker Martin. Oh, you're from Vietnam. Cool. We just looked at a book that had Vietnam immigrants. That one was this one. What Hunger? I'm glad you weren't here. I'm glad you weren't here for that. Because I really ruined a lot of the way you say some of these some dishes, Vietnamese dishes. This one was really interesting though. Where is the one that I wanted us to look at? Oh, yeah, this one. So this one is Black Flame. It's Gretchen Felker Martin, who did I don't want to get them mixed up, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Manhunt and Cuckoo. So I didn't rate this one, but I liked Cuckoo better than I liked Manhunt. I just don't like survival horror that much, but it is really nice to read, and it's a trans author, so like support your trans authors. And this one is not a survival horror. So, I'm kind of excited for the concept of this one. It's a cursed film, haunted past, a deadly secret. The Baroness, an infamous exploitation film long thought destroyed by Nazi fire, is discovered 50 years later when lonely archivist Ellen Kramer, deeply closeted and pathologically repressed, begins restoring the hedonistic movie. It unspools dark desires from deep within her. Ooh, this sounds like fun. This one's it's giving me some silver nitrate feels. Because of cursed films, I guess. And I think that it's kind of interesting because even the character from Silver Nitrate, I can't remember her name, but she wasn't closeted or repressed, but she was somewhat repressed and like quiet and misanthropic almost. As Ellen is consumed by visions and voices, she becomes convinced the movie is real and is happening to her, and that frame by frame she is unleashing its occult horrors on the world. Her life quickly begins to spiral out of control until it all fades to black, and all that remains is a voice asking a question Ellen can't answer, but can't get out of her mind. Do you want it more than anything? Ooh. Oh, I'm sorry. You're doing great though. This one is interesting. Yeah, this one I think this might be we because I liked Gretchen's writing, and I think that she does a really good job of just like her prose and stuff is really gorgeous. Even in Manhunt, which I didn't necessarily love, I thought it was just so well written and the characters are really good. So one of the things that I don't love in a lot of the books is just like the gratuitous sex stuff. But I also understand that those books were really talking about the uh, it was like dissecting horrors of transness, and some of that involves sex stuff. I'm exploring books that are coming out or have come out soon. So I'm considering whether or not these are books that I want to read. This is I am recommending this author, and I think that this book might be good. So I think I'm gonna try to read this book. Yeah, this one's new. When did it come out? Let's see. Yeah, this came out August 5th, so it's only a month old. It would be helpful if it had a Vietnamese translation. I want to take a look at it because it doesn't have that great of a rating here, but I will bet you anything over here it will. Black Flame. Yeah, what'd I say? Pretty significant bump, too. I tend to read horror books, but sometimes romance too. We've been looking at horror books because um that's my primary, and also because Halloween is coming up soon, and if you want to read scary books over Halloween, you should get your reading plans now, especially if you like to read from a library or from other free sources, because they might not be available if you don't plan ahead. We're planning ahead for the month of October. I don't know if Vietnam does anything like Halloween. I know here in France they do a little bit of Halloween, but not like we do in America. Nobody celebrates anything like Americans do. Americans are sad and depressed, and so the only thing we have to look forward to are holidays. And a lot of people really like Halloween, and I am included in there because I like bats. Batley, say hi. Hi, Batley. Okay, she's hard to see there. uh, yeah, no, I'm interested in this. It's a short one, but I think that's normal for Gretchen. Volker Martin books, they tend to be a little short, but that doesn't bother me. I think a short book is fine. We're gonna go ahead and throw this on the to be read pile. Reading books is my job. It's a hobby. And I tend to read a lot of I review books as much as I can. But I don't get paid for it yet. I hope it will be my job someday. Did we do Alba? Yeah, we can get rid of that. Getting rid of tabs. Hold on. We'll keep that one open for right now. Another one I wanted to look at was this one because, again, remember last time I did a huge rant about if you want to read something that doesn't come from a white man, you have to do some work to do that. I found this one, which is not a white man, so it's in the Philippines. This is House of Monstrous Women by Daphne Fama. My husband overheard monstrous women and went, "Oh, good. Yes, that sounds great. Lovely. Pop material. You think there will be tentacles involved? I'm into it." Oh, cool. Do you like to read books? Do you write books, maybe? A young woman is drawn into a dangerous game after being invited to a maze-like home of her childhood friend, a rumor witch, in this gothic horror set in 1986 Philippines. Also 80s. That's kind of fun. In this game, there's one rule: survive. Orphaned after her father's political campaign ended in tragedy, Josephine is alone taking care of the family home while her older brother is off in Manila where revolution brews. But unexpected invitation from her childhood friend, Hiria? Hiria? I'm not good at some of these names. To her house offers an escape. Why don't you come visit? We can play games like we used to. If Josephine wins, she'll get whatever her heart desires. Her brother is invited too, and it's time they had a talk. Josephine's heard dark whispers. Kirea, oh, I just messed that up even worse, is a witch, and her family spits curses. But still, she's just desperate enough to seize this chance to change her destiny. Except Ronco House is strange, labyrinthine, and dangerously close to a treacherous sea. A sickly sweet smell clings to the dimly lit walls. The veiled eyes follow Josephine through endless connecting rooms. The air is to save herself, she'll have to play to win, but in this house, victory is earned with blood. Interesting. Power People Revolution. Oh, okay. It's a gothic horror set against the people of 1986 Philippines and the People Power Revolution. That's really interesting. I understand. That's how I listen to French when you talk, I can only listen and guess the meaning of the words. I know. I understand. I wouldn't know anything from Vietnamese. Trying to think if there's anything I can remember. I remember some food stuff, but that's about it. I used to cook a lot. Anyway, this sounds really interesting. So I again was just really interested in seeing some things from more diverse authors and thought I would give a couple of examples. This one is already on my reading list, I believe, which I'm gonna go ahead and pull up the to be read pile now, which has 56 books now. That's great. These are the ones that we added today, but after it are a couple of things that are different. The Faceless Thing We Adore. I'm trying to see. Right, that was the other thing, was that there's a Sea Kingfisher that is coming out that we didn't actually take a look at. That is not the one that's already out. This one's coming out in November, though, so we'll probably do that later. Oh, okay. Sounds like a plan. I'm actually going to be finishing up here in a minute. I'm trying to see if there's anything else that we could pull up that you should know about. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Like to read. Books that I have asked my library to please purchase. Are hold on, let me see. So I think I did 3. I know I did Sisters of the Lost Nation. Devil Kills Devils. This one's a Johnny Compton, who is a Black author who did The Spite House. I read that a couple of years back. It's very good. But again, I especially want to promote Black male authors in horror because there's just not a lot. I can't remember the other one that I asked them to get. But yeah, there's a couple. I'm going to need to add a couple of these into my watch list with them, especially these ones that haven't come out yet. And I'm pretty excited for them. Let's see. Books that I've read. I've read over 400 books. I have read over 400 books. It's hard to choose. I also often read books, but mostly for studying. I used to read for studying. I used to study literature. So I understand having to read a lot. But now I read for pleasure because it's so much fun. It's so much fun to read. Let's see, we can look at some of the books that I have read, I think. Can I see that from here? No. I don't have my current read up, but we could put it up here. I probably will do it later though. But that's what I just finished. Camp Damascus. and Usher's Passing for this month. And it's still only quite early in the month. I'm trying to see if there's any way to see your last reads. I don't think so, but I know there is on here. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. Red. Oh, that only has 351, but there's more. I just don't have them all here. Here's what I've read recently. So yeah, I just finished Camp Damascus a couple days ago. And then I finished Usher's Passing because I'm trying to do something with the books that are retellings or inspired by the Fall of the House of Usher. And then we've gone over these ones, but these are what I read in September. Yeah, lots of interesting books. Or not in September, in what's before September? July. I had a big week. I had a big month in August. I just read a lot. I think I'll read a lot this month too. I'm just like feeling good, ready to get going on it, and now I'm having a good time with it. Oh, what time is it where you are? It's 11 p.m. here. There. It's 6 p.m. here. I'm about to finish up for the day, and I have a feeling our buddy Glitch is set up and ready to stream. And we might just go ahead and... Are you up yet, bud? You having trouble? I can't tell. Glitch, are you on? We're gonna pull it up in here. That's okay. Let's go ahead and move over to here. Guys. Hello. It's been a day. Let's talk for a little bit longer though. What kind of books do you like to read? While I wait to see if I can get our buddy Glitch set up. Because we might just go right into Glitch and go watch them work. Maybe on my stuff. They might have to be working on things that they're actually getting paid for. One day I will pay my editor, but my editor is currently, I have a saved bank of childhood trauma in which I am using to pay my editor. It's more like a payback sort of situation where they caused me much emotional pain. No, honestly, we probably share a lot of the hits of emotional pain. But no, I do a lot of like script editing and writing editing for them, so it is going both ways. Yeah, no, they just went live. It looks like. So let me Twitch. Go to TV. We'll take a look. I don't know if anybody is even in here anymore. Let's see. I often read books about childhood and student love, the most innocent and beautiful of. Oh, that's really sweet. That's... Let's see what our buddies are doing. Oh, fuck. What's going on with me? What's happening? Is anybody even watching me right now? Not really. We're not having a great time. We'll go ahead and add that then. Who's here? What's going on? Am I being watched by anybody? I do have a few viewers. Okay, well, we'll just go into them. When will you enter the live stream? In a minute here. I'm gonna be streaming again on Thursday. My schedule is accurate on my page. So yeah, my schedule is accurate on my page. That's what I'm gonna do right now. I know that there's not many people paying attention here, but that's okay. I'm just gonna tell you. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, listening to me yap about books, about upcoming books, and get excited about things that we might be able to read sometime soon. I will be live again on Thursday, but if you are interested in watching some gaming content, I will be... Thank you, Occult Scraps, for following. That is amazing. Thank you. Oh, you have cute cats. Oh, I love... What were those cats? Oh, it kind of looked like bats to me. I mean... that's the joke with me, is I can't see, so I have bats. It was so nice to have everybody here, though. Oh, bun bats. Amazing. This is my bat. Her name is Batley. She's not at all me personified into a bat. She's cute, though. Yeah. Where was I going? Okay, if you are interested in having some streaming, some gaming content, I will not be live, but on Wednesday I will be playing with some friends. You can follow them here. If you are interested in doing some stuff with us, any of them will be live on Wednesday, and I believe we'll probably be playing Phasmophobia again. We tend to stick to a game until we get real sick of it. We'll see what happens. It's usually a horror game. I can't stream it because my laptop will literally set on fire, and that's no good for anybody. But then I will be live again on Thursday, and we are doing a music stream on Thursday, and it will be a theme of girly pop. So I'm going to be looking at singing and trying to build my repertoire of some girly pop songs. I don't really listen to pop, and a lot of those girlies are singing in my range, so I might as well take advantage of it. And we're going to take a look at some songs. So if you are interested in music and music analysts and just listening to pretty sounds, then you can come back on Thursday and hang out. Then if you're not able to come by on Thursday, but you still want to hang out for the rest of this week, on Saturday I will be live again. I'm gonna play a game, and I don't remember what game it is, but I'm gonna play it. Anyway, thank you again so much for being here, so much for following. I'm going to end now, but we're going to raid someone. We're going to go ahead and raid my editor Glitch, who is probably working on something that might be mine. I don't know. But we're going to go see what they are doing. And it is a co-working stream, so, you know, it's pretty chill, nice music, fun times, relaxing, get some work done. Let's see. I forgot how to raid. That's where I am right now. I'm just really tired. We're gonna raid Glitch. crown. There we go. All right, guys, let's see what Glitch is up to. Thank you again so much for coming. Thank you for the follows. Thank you for the interaction. I really appreciate it. We will see you again next time. Have a great afternoon or morning or evening wherever you are. Bye, everyone.